Oh, this is not... No! Yeah, I do too. Oh, this is not good. Come on. Only got a few seconds left. What's going on, my geeks? I'm Kakui Otaku, and welcome to Home Base Serenity, where today I'm continuing my Beginner's Game Guide series by going over the spawn points for Stonewood Storm Shield defenses 7 through 10, how I changed the defenses at the older amplifiers, and any new defenses I put down for the new amplifier that you have to place down at Storm Shield defense number 9. The defense was a lot harder this time, so I had to gradually buff up the defenses. Before we go over that, I'm going to jump into my Stonewood Storm Shield on my main account for a moment so we can go over the spawn points. Alright, so before I go over any of the new spawn points, I wanted to do a quick review of the spawn points that you had to deal with going through the first 6. So you will still have a spawn from here attacking the Storm Shield. That never changes. It seems to be the first wave every time, especially on 7 through 10, so you still need to make sure you've defended for that. For this amp here, which is amp C on my main account, amp B on my alt account, you will still have the spawn from the west here, of course. That doesn't change either. And then if you've not put down this amplifier, which I think it might have been the only choice to go further, then you would still have a spawn here. But if you have put down that amplifier, that will cut off that spawn. As for the spawns for this amplifier, as before, you still have the spawn over here from the west, spawning down here. And then you also have a spawn over here from the south. If you end up putting this amplifier down at any point, it will cut off this spawn, as the amplifiers always do. There are 3 main spawn points you have to deal with initially. You have this one over here from the east. You have the main one over here from the south that got used the most in the first 6 Storm Shield defenses. And then the one that I completely forgot about in my setup and prep for the first 6, you have a spawn over here from where amplifier B is in front of me that would attack this amplifier. As you saw in the last video, I was able to take care of it pretty easily by myself, but if for some reason you don't have this amplifier down in 7 to 10, I would make sure to build some defenses here, because that is definitely still going to be a spawn point. So that covers the initial 3 amplifiers and the Storm Shield and their spawn points that you have to deal with to get through the first 6 Storm Shield defenses in Stonewood. After that, when you move on, you have 3 choices for where you put down your next amplifier. You have this one down here, which I did put down on my main account, as you can see, which, as I said, putting down this amplifier cuts off any spawns from the south for this amplifier. You also have this amplifier here, and then, as you can kind of see right there, if you look at the tree, there's an amplifier right there. I'm going to go over the 2 on either side of the middle first, since I didn't use them on my alt account. Now, I would actually not recommend ever using this amplifier unless you absolutely have to for whatever reason, because when you're trying to build for your Stonewood 7 to 10, the Storm Shield itself for this amplifier is somewhere around in here. It's incredibly close to this amplifier. I believe I took a screenshot of it when I was doing the setup. If I do, I've got it on screen right now, so you can see just how close the Storm Shield itself is, and that gives you really no room to actually build any defenses. But should you decide to actually use this amplifier, the spawn points for this amplifier, I believe, are down here. This one is kind of a questionable one. I'm not 100% certain on it, but I am 100% certain that you can have a spawn from down here. I've seen it when I was doing war games back in Season X, so you definitely need to worry about this one over here. As for this amp over here in the pit that I did put down on my main account, I know from my own experience and from seeing it in war games that you have 2 main spawn points to worry about here. You have a spawn here for this amp, and you have a spawn down here. Both of these will come for this amp. Both of those spawn points what you have to worry about with this amplifier, so you want to make sure to build defenses to defend against those. But again, just like with the last one I showed that I suggested not to build on, you would not want to build on this one either, because the Storm Shield itself is very close to the actual amplifier. Again, if I've got a picture of it, I'll put it up on screen now so you can see. It's very, very close to the amplifier, so you really don't have any room to build anything, at least not anything effective. And that's why I chose to put down this one on my alt account. The biggest reason is because the Storm Shield was all the way out here, somewhere between these 2 tiles. I think even it's closer to this one, but somewhere between these 2. So you literally had like all of this room here that you could build. So you could build plenty of defenses, and it was it was a great idea to actually use this one. So I would suggest once you get to 7 through 10, this is the amplifier you want to put down. Obviously, I didn't do it on my main account. I used this one, and since I couldn't build anything as far as trap tunnels go, it was incredibly hard to actually get past that wave. In fact, we almost failed it. So I think I've shown off all the spawn points here that I need to show off. So let's jump on over to my alt account now, and I'll show you how I've defended against the new spawn points and all the other changes I made to the other spawns, because I'm pretty sure every single defense changed except for this one. This one pretty much stayed the same. Everything else I'm pretty sure has changed from what you've seen in the last video. So let's go take a look at that now. So now we're back on my alt account, and I'm going to show you what all I've changed defense-wise for the different spawn points. The only thing I think I've changed over here, to be honest, was this right here. I just put up some ramps so that I could get up on top here and be able to look over. Several times I saw the spires didn't actually break the walls down here, so I kept putting them back up just in case, and like I put this back up as well, and it didn't bust it. So I don't really know. I guess the spires are always just kind of random, so sometimes they can break down a wall here, sometimes they won't. That's just a good thing to keep in mind. I also did put down some little defenses over here for that one random spire that can be right there. I found out that they also won't always come down this pathway here. If you get that spire, they can also come over here and come this way. So that's why I actually built a little timeout room, and I've gone over the timeout rooms in the last video, so I'm not necessarily going to go over them again. I don't want this video to be as long as the last one, so I'm going to try to go through this quickly, but it's the same kind of thing that I did the last time, the exact same setup, with the only difference being a sound wall here in case any propanes came through. Everything else is exactly the same as what a normal timeout room is for me, and that should just keep them from getting all the way through to the actual storm shield itself. But everything else is exactly the same for this entire defense. Didn't change anything else. This whole timeout room down here is exactly the same. Nothing else has changed. I'm going to go over to the west first before I go to Amplifier A, so I'm going to go over here to Amplifier B, and the first thing you're going to see is this big lobber shield. For anyone who doesn't know what the purpose of a lobber shield is, you got these husks that are called lobbers that throw skulls at whatever they're trying to attack. And the point of a lobber shield is you keep them from actually being able to attack the base, or in this case, the amplifier. If they don't have a direct line of sight to their target, they cannot throw their skulls. And as you can see, if I go down here, they don't have a direct line of sight at all. They can't go over off to this side. No direct line of sight. I mean, probably even if they went all the way over here, there'd be no direct line of sight. Yep, no line of sight. And same thing if they went all the way over here. No real line of sight. I mean, maybe there. They might be able to get something through there, but I seriously doubt it. So this is what I would do for a lobber shield. In my times running these defenses on my alt account, it seemed like every defense from 7 through 10, the second wave was here at Amplifier B from the west. And they always seemed to have lobbers. So in one of my failed attempts at 10, I just finally decided it was time to put this down. I didn't think I was going to actually put down a lobber shield for Stonewood, but I did, and I think it really helped because every time that wave came up, it was 800 husks to eliminate, and it would have been a bad time if I hadn't put this up because the 800 husks took a while to eliminate, so they probably would have gotten through, the skulls at least would have gotten through to the actual amplifier itself, and that would have been bad. So I did change a little bit more besides putting up the lobber shield. As I believe I said in the last video, I was going to cut off this entire room right here and just make it a complete block so they can't get through. Because as I saw running 2 through 6, when I had timeout rooms on both sides, the husks always went this direction every single time. There were the few random husks that might go over here, and maybe a smasher might go over here, but that was it. So I decided after 6 to just go ahead and cut it off completely. And when I did that, I made this a 2 wide timeout room. So there's actually 2 instead of just the 1. Another thing that I found out and actually tested, and it does actually make a difference, I was finding that all the husks were going through this timeout room specifically. None of them were coming over here. And the reason for that was because I originally had that set up. it was more difficult for them to get around, so they just actually avoided this room altogether. When I was showing this to CJ, he suggested trying that instead, and then we actually ran it to see what would happen, just to actually get through this wave, and the husks actually came through here because it was a little easier to get through. So then they actually started using this, which actually helped with the fact that, you know, some of these traps could die pretty quickly. I mean, these only have 24 uses. So if an 800 husk wave is coming through this side, these are going to get used up pretty quickly. So normally I would suggest doing what I did here with, you know, making them go around the long way, but in this specific situation, it didn't actually help. It actually hindered. It made them all go through the one side and ignore the other, so it might be good to actually do it that way instead, so that it makes it a little easier for them to get through this side, so they actually decide, hey, let's go through that one. I also put up a broadside here just for a little bit of extra damage if something did make it through, but for the most part, nothing really made it through. And again, I didn't need to put anything up here because putting down Amplifier C over here cuts off that spawn point. So now let's go over to Amplifier A. In 7 through 10, this actually seemed to be the third wave, at least 9 and 10 every single time, because I did 10 3 times because I kept having fatal errors on the last wave, which we'll go over later. But this one always seemed to be wave number 3, and I'm not sure if that's just random or if it's actually programmed that way. But since I put down this amp over here at D, which we'll go over in a second what I've actually done there, that cuts off that spawn point from the south, so I didn't need all the defenses that were down here, so I got to tear them down, because the only place that they're going to spawn at now, since I have the amplifier over here and the amplifier down here, is from the east. And for 7 and 8, it was a pretty decent setup still. Like, I didn't have to change anything. And even for 9, really, I didn't have to change anything. What I did change since I took down all this at 7, I moved the opening from here over to here and put a little trap tunnel here in case anything came after it. And then, of course, I would have Jill right there to assist. And that was really the only change I made until 10. But at 10, I started to notice things getting through a little bit more. And one of my failures was actually because of some spires that were up here. So you can actually get some spires that are here, and instead of pathing in this direction like you would want them to, they actually came around this side. And it got to be a problem because we had a smasher as well as regular husks, and between myself and Jill, we really couldn't handle it, especially when the smasher actually ran towards the amplifier. So it ended up being a fail. I left before it ended because I could tell there was no way I was going to actually save that run, because we couldn't get all the husks down. They were just completely ignoring these tunnels, and there were a ton of husks coming down this way and just could not take them out no matter what we did. So I built a little wall here just to keep them from going that way, to encourage them to actually go down this direction. But even then, especially at 10, I was seeing a lot more get through the single timeout room than I actually was comfortable with. So when I actually buffed up the defenses before running 10 the last time, I made this a double timeout room instead of single and put a little bit more here. Timeout room itself, as I've said before, it's the same exact setup as what I do for all timeout rooms. I've gone over that in my last video, so I don't really think I need to go over it again here. But this little bit here is all about resistance and damage. So I've got the wooden floor spikes to slow them down, the wall launchers to push them back, and then the gas traps and the wall darts to just do some damage to anything that doesn't get pushed back. And anything that spawns right out here will go up against these broadsides and get some damage from that as well. This, I believe I put up either it's 4, 5, or 6. I can't remember if I had this in the first video or not, but during one of the defenses, the husks actually started to attack this little block that I had here to keep them from getting up on top of this little plateau here. So I put that up there just to push them back and to keep them from getting up on top of it. But I also decided to put a broadside there next to it. I also built another timeout room over here on top with another sound wall outside of it, just to get some more damage and keep fewer husks from actually being able to get all the way through down here. And then I even put up a second defender post and leveled up another AR defender so that I could have a defender on both sides, which actually came in clutch in 10. I didn't do any of this blocking off or extending of timeout rooms until Storm Shield Defense number 10. And I'm really glad that I did, as you'll see in the gameplay. But the one thing that you don't see here that I would absolutely suggest that you need to do is this right there. In my original plan, before I widened the timeout rooms here, that would have been fine because they would have just fallen down and gone through the timeout room. But I forgot about that bit whenever I was building the extension here onto the timeout rooms, and they started actually coming down and landing on top of this and coming this way. So I had to actually fix something in the middle of all of it to actually get it taken care of. But I think that's pretty much all of the changes that I made here. Except for, actually, I think I made a connection here between the amplifier and the tunnels here so that I could put a base here to actually work for both. Because most of the husks were going to go through this tunnel rather than this one. So I felt like if I was going to put base down anywhere with supercharged traps, this was going to be the tunnel that needed it the most. Alright, so I think that's all that I've changed over here at Amplifier A. Let's go over here to Amplifier C. It's got some kind of similar changes like I did over at Amplifier A, which is basically just an extension. The timeout rooms were just single timeout rooms on either side, and now they're double. Because when you get to 7 through 10, it's a huge ramp up in difficulty, so I wanted to put down some more timeout rooms so I could be more effective in getting through the longer and more difficult waves. I also put down broadsides wrapping all the way around here just to get some more damage, some more sound walls, and another broadside there and there. And then obviously the ceiling electric fields that are so effective, put them there, sound wall there. And this part of the defense is exactly the same as before. It's just a single timeout room, so nothing really changed there. But that's really all I changed here at this one. I think the only thing I changed for defending this one was I put down another sound wall down here, and then I put down some wooden floor spikes here for anything that came up this direction, just to kind of slow them down a bit more and make sure they got hit by the wall launchers. But this timeout room here is the same as it has been ever since it was first built. I haven't changed it at all. I mean, you can see some other stuff there. We're going to get to that in a minute. But every bit of this defense here is exactly the same as before. So that covers the defenses here for C. Now we're on to the new stuff. The actual brand new defenses starting here at Amplifier D. And now this has evolved quite a bit since my first build on it for Storm Shield Defense number 9, as you'll see in the gameplay. What you're going to see in the gameplay for Storm Shield Defense number 9 is vastly different than what you see right here, right now. Now, of course, the defense around the actual amplifier itself is my same standard plus sign build that I've done on all the others, so that's exactly the same as what I've talked about before. And I've left part of it open, hoping they would come that direction to make sure they follow the path that I want them to follow. And then I had timeout rooms, 2 timeout rooms here, and then originally the exact same thing on the other side, because I thought when I built this that the only spawn was down here, as I said in the spawn point section. I wasn't thinking about over here. When I ran 9, you'll see that I had an issue with this actually having the spawns, with the husks actually spawning down here to go against D, and it caught me by surprise because I didn't have any defenses up here. Nothing. I had a few husks going over here on this ramp, which we'll talk about in a second, but most of them actually, interestingly enough, came up this way. And I thought, oh, cool, the timeout rooms will deal with them. And they did for a while until they beat through this wall. And so I did what I thought was a smart thing, and it really was, had they actually gone this way. I built more traps over here, more timeout rooms, and so this is the wall I was just talking about. This is the opposite side of it. So the plan was, when they beat this wall down, another timeout room right here to throw them into, behind the 2 timeout rooms over there. If they got through this, I had sound walls here for the propanes, broadside there, had a ceiling zapper right up here, because it will shoot through the slants like this, through the ramps. But then up in here is 2 timeout rooms, and then I didn't have any of this built right here at first, except maybe the ceilings. But then, as you'll gather from what I say in my live commentary on the gameplay, when I actually ran 10, they didn't go that direction. When they spawned down here, the vast majority came this way, up this ramp here, which was a problem, because all I had there was a few wall launchers to push them off and make them go this way. In one of the failed tests, a smasher even came through, busted his way through the timeout rooms, and then straight into the amplifier, and it was over in like 20 seconds at that point. It was bad. So when I was trying to figure out what to do here, I had the idea initially of trying to still block this off, but then push them up through here. But then Death Grip, when I was showing this to him, he made the suggestion to actually open it up and try something here where you actually let them actually walk into the timeout room on purpose, like break this wall out, so it kind of turns this into not a timeout room here. Then you still have the wall launcher to push them back, and then if I have a spawn point from the south over here, this part can still work because it can push them back here, and they might get pushed back by this one into this timeout room. But again, it's just the same standard timeout rooms that I've done before. This part is not any different than what I've done, other than the fact that it's kind of open here. That's the only real difference. What I thought was going to be the fun part was all of this right here in the front. So they would spawn down here and head up this way. And this was just some really good resistance. You know, wall launcher to push them back, wall launcher to push them back, floor launchers to launch them up into the ramps, which would launch them back over here. And they'd have to go through the whole thing again. If they made it past all that, a wall launcher here to launch them over here. And they would then path around here to go back up the ramp again. And then of course just some wall dart just to give them some damage, slow them down right here with all of this. And if for some reason a husk got launched and landed here, there was a wall launcher here to launch them into this timeout room here, which I actually never put a ceiling down on. That's kind of interesting. I wonder if I did that on purpose. Maybe. Probably did. But then the idea would be they would still be able to come back around here. And of course, another sound wall for the propanes, and then another one here. Then I've got broadsides here and wall darts to get them some damage as they come through here. But I did end up having a problem, so I don't actually know how well this works. I think it would work pretty well, but I don't have any actual example of it in effect, because even after all the times that I've done this, and I had Amp C from the west, on Storm Shield Defense number 10, I had Amp C from the south. And that was the problem because there were spires right here. Pretty much every bit of this was destroyed except for the ramps. And they're useless without the floor launchers. As far as the defenses over here go, though, I wanted to go over one last thing here. I put down a couple of broadsides over here just in case anything did come through this way and busted through, came through these timeout rooms and made it through all the way to here. They would have the broadsides to damage them because the broadsides will trigger in a 3-tile radius. Another one there. Just like the shielding electric field, they trigger in a 3x3 radius. So let's bunch of electric fields to get every tile that I could possibly get. Gas trap here and another sealing electric field there. And then once you get in here, a wall launcher to push them back if they get in, broadside to damage them, and then my alternating wall dynamo and wall darts. And then a gas trap here. And in case something broke through these walls, I wanted to have a gas trap here. I wasn't really sure whether it was going to be necessary or not, but I wanted to do it. And then, of course, broadsides and gas trap here if they came in this direction and actually got into the amplifier itself. I also initially put down a sniper defender box right here. Now, what I mean by that is it would be, you know, 1x1 with a roof and windows just to be safe. And then on this back one, a door so I can get in. Put down the sniper defender pad here, and then the sniper defender would be in here in this box, protected so that she could defend against any husk that came in. And since I'm using an obliterator, which is researchable from the collection book for anyone who doesn't have one, the obliterator shoots through walls, so the defender can shoot through walls as well. But I eventually changed my mind and decided, no, I don't want to put the sniper there. This was after I decided I needed to build up more defenses over here. So that's when I actually put down a jump pad here to get myself up here as a constructor and built a little sniper base for my sniper defender right here. I could put her down with the obliterator and she could shoot at anything that might be coming up in either direction. So she would have range to get over here if anything came up this way, and she would have a chance to get over here as well. And again, since she's using the obliterator, that sniper right there, it still shoots through walls or floors or terrain, anything, so she can still be very effective all the way up here. So I think that's everything, if I'm not mistaken. That's all the changes I've made to the previous amplifiers and then the builds on the new amplifier. So now I think it's time to move on into the final part of the video where I actually show these defenses in action and show you the gameplay for Storm Shield Defenses 7 through 10. Now this time I actually recorded my gameplay commentary completely live rather than as a reaction to it later on, so I hope that makes it a little more enjoyable. Alright, here we go with Stonewood SSD 7. See how this goes here. Hopefully it should be just as easy as it was before, but we'll see what happens. How are they getting in down here? What is happening? Oh, looks like the spires are breaking. Okay, that's not good. And they'll probably all still get destroyed by base here in just a second. Well, not quite destroyed, but pretty well damaged. Yeah, I got to figure out a way actually to take care of that, because it's going to be okay for this wave, but I got to figure out a way to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future. What's weird is that the spires didn't break the walls on any of the previous Storm Shield defenses, so I don't know why it's breaking it on this one specifically. All right, so wave 2 from the west. This should be a pretty easy wave. The defenses here work out pretty well. I still need to consider putting something down here and here. I may do that for the later ones, just in case the odd husk does get through. As you see here, a couple are. I'm just confused why basically none of them are coming this direction. That's That's confusing me. I mean, we got a couple coming over here now, but that might just be because I'm standing here. What do you think you're doing? Something big just went down over here. I'm guessing probably a smasher might have come through. I certainly didn't see whatever it was. All right, going to Amplifier A now. Amplifier A from the east. All right, biggins. Let's babysit this tunnel over here. Oh, there's a propane coming through. Oh, well, propane went off before you dropped it. That might have been my fault, actually. This side looks to still be doing pretty well. All right, so that wave is down. All right, so now we got Amplifier C. Okay, this will be fun. I did not get an attack from this direction on SSD 6, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I think I might actually put the base on the tunnel, just so it helps the traps a little more. Stand over to this side, maybe they'll all come this way. I'll bring Jill back over here just in case they do start to come through. But for the most part, they are just coming this direction. But still, this one little timeout room is taking care of the whole defense here pretty much. Well, where do you think you're going? Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, it looks like that's also a place that lobbers might go through, so it might be good to like put up a little bit of a lobber shield there maybe, just in case they do decide to come that direction to throw their skulls. Just for future reference maybe. Oh, went over it. Okay, so that wasn't high enough. That's good to know. All right, Amp A from the south this time. Put Jill over on this side in case anything happens over here. She won't be very effective on the other side because nothing can get through over here. All right, final wave incoming. Still haven't put down the tire drop trap there. I just wanted to go ahead and run these today. I'm running these earlier than I'm actually going to run the other two, most likely. Need to get some V-Bucks to get a Lucky 7 llama for this account, so I thought I'd go ahead and run these two real quick. Hopefully going to run 7 and 8 as long as I don't have to build for 8. Need to get back up here and keep an eye out for any smashers that might come in. I don't know if there are going to be any smashers on this wave or not. Oh, there's a smashy boy. I hear a smasher. I'm coming for you, smasher. Don't you worry. Okay. Traps did take care of him. Nice. Good to know. All right, smasher number 2. Smasher with a shielder. I'm just going to go ahead and take this guy down from up here. He picked up a second shielder? Really? Must have been the shielder from the propane earlier. There he goes. Now he's down. All right, well, this went really well. It looks like I've only got about 10 seconds left. Nothing's getting through. So, yeah, everything held up really well. Didn't have to change anything. But that was pretty easy. All right, let's go ahead and jump on back in and go to Storm Shield Defense number 8. Got a quota wave here. I'm going to fix this probably later with some gas traps under it for those that get in. It's time to be a little bit more active on this one, I think. Don't want them to get through here. Normally wouldn't do this as a constructor, but I kind of feel like I have no choice since the walls were being broken by the spires. I'm going to put some gas traps under here, like I said. That'll help. But since it's a quota wave, I got to go ahead and eliminate them. I can't just outlast them like I did on SSD 7. That's where the boom bow comes in handy. The wave clear on the boom bow is amazing. I love it. All right, so now we're going to Amplifier B from the west. All right, let's see if they actually go off to the other side this time or not. It looks like they're not. They're all just going this way. Okay. You know, with that being the case, I think that maybe I'm sure I'm going to have to build again for 9 and 10. I will probably beef up that tunnel since they seem to be going off that direction. I might do a double wide. So, yeah, it looks like a couple are still getting through, but not like before. And Jill's really helping out quite a bit. That's obviously a good thing. You know what? Heck, I may just completely block this one off. That's what I may do. I may just turn this into a complete block instead of actually being a timeout room. And use the materials from it to build the second set of timeout rooms over here. Because obviously they just want to go this direction right now. And if I completely block this off, they're not even going to come this way at all. So it's not going to matter. All right, Amplifier A from the east. Hopefully it'll be a bit of a quota wave. Like I said, for Defense 7, I'm on a bit of a time crunch here. I'm trying to get this done before store reset in about 10 minutes, and I've still got 3 waves to get through. So I'm hoping for some quota waves, because those can go a little quicker. Oh, good. It is a quota wave. I'm going to be a little aggressive here. If I had hover turrets, I would throw them down, but I don't unlock them until a couple more levels on my account. I think I hit level 33 after the last defense, so I got 2 more levels, and then I'll unlock the turrets. Boom bow's definitely coming in handy here, though. Let me go check, make sure nothing's getting through over here. Nope, it's good. I do seriously love this weapon, though. I mean, my Wraith is my go-to, but in situations like this where I just need some wave clear to get rid of a lot of enemies quick, this really comes in handy. Oh, goodness, a smasher. Haven't seen a smasher on this defense yet, at least not on this direction. Oh, don't worry about him, Jill. He's down. Alright, we're almost done with this wave. About 20 some left. Alright, Amplifier C from the south. This is another quota wave. I'm definitely going to aggro it as well. Nope, 4-minute wave, and I've got 6 minutes to go. Don't think I'm going to make it. Oh well. It's not like I necessarily 100% needed that llama. It just would have been good because it had a mythic hero, had Face Scout Jess in it. So it would have been good to be able to unlock it, but I had like 30 V-Bucks when I came home, so I had to do 2 defenses real quick, and then I was also going to get 50 V-Bucks for finishing a Storm Shield defense. So that's the big reason why I went ahead and did these today without actually like doing the couple other things I needed to do. I was kind of running low on time. If I'd known I wasn't going to actually end up having time, I would probably have waited until the weekend so I could run all 4 together. That was my original plan. Okay, this Smasher's probably going to get through the tunnel here, so I'm going to have to come over here and deal with him. Oh, he didn't really get through the tunnel at all. Okay, good. It's still going pretty well. Oh, another Smasher coming in. So I'm going to take him down with just the boom bow? A bully a Smasher here? Oh, no. If I didn't miss my shots and then didn't fall off the tunnel, my goodness. Now I didn't need to. The tunnel killed him anyway. I kind of wanted to bully that Smasher. Spawned a Smasher with like 3 seconds left. What? Okay. All right, we can get another quota wave. All right, final wave. Yep, 300 enemies. Try to aggro this as much as what I can. I got to be careful here. These gunslingers and pitchers are doing some work on me. Oh gosh, I got to back up a little bit. Oh gosh, back off. Whew. All right, so now we'll jump into the future to when I actually run the rest of this, and we're going to run Stonewood Storm Shield Defense number 9. And I've gone ahead and fixed everything that I said I was going to fix, and I'm ready to run this. So let's see how it goes now with some fixes. Okay, so the spires are still breaking the walls, but I've put gas traps underneath to hopefully keep them from getting into the base. I have also put down the defenses here that I said I was going to put down, which is good since I'm getting this weird spawn point here. I might want to actually put up more here because when they are spawning, they're spawning a little bit outside of that, like they're spawning over the side here, and that's unexpected. How did you get up here? Oh, well, hello. How did you two get through? Oh, goodness. Hello. I got a blaster under my Dorito? Go away. And you too. So yeah, lesson learned here for sure. When you do have this spawn off to the side, build some defenses over to the side as well. You could probably just do with a little timeout room in here. Go back over to Amplifier B. Now, I have changed Amplifier B like I said I would. I've blocked off this side completely, so they will just go through the left-hand side, or my left-hand side. And I've made it a double-wide timeout room as well, like I said I would. Go up here and kind of make sure that they're not going to start banging on these walls here. Yep, they're doing like I thought they would. They're coming over here. But yeah, they're not even making it through the timeout room, which is kind of the idea. Kind of not even touching this side, which is interesting. Oh, a smashy boy. You going down, boy. There you go. Yeah, I let my southern slip out there for a second. You don't normally hear it, I don't think. At least not to that effect. But you definitely did there. All right, now we got Amplifier A from the east. I'm going to try something here. I wonder if I put it up here if it'll get further. It will, obviously. But how far will it get? Cover the whole tunnel? Yes, it will. Good. Where did you come from? Well, that was weird. I don't know how he got to the other side there. We'll start aggroing a little bit. It's a quota wave. Oh, what are you doing? Are you really? You leave that alone. Not many left now. Wave's almost done.
We have a break in the action.
Another quota wave. It's going pretty well. I mean, it's a quota wave. It's lasting a little bit, but I'm helping it out. The point is the tunnels are working really well. They're doing their job. And then I'm just taking care of anything that comes off to the side here. All right, looks like the wave's almost done. I got about 20-some enemies left. Oh, and I say that and it drops down to 9. All right, there we go. Oh, this is a rut row. Oh, I didn't plan for this. Oh, this might be bad. Oh, well, that's cool. So I got a bit of an interesting situation here. I didn't plan any kind of defense over here because I did not remember that they could spawn from the west to attack this amp. But what's interesting is they're going up this walkway, so they're going into the same tunnel right here. Oh, and they're breaking through now. Like, this is not good at all. Oh, great. This is not what you want to see. Oh, this is quickly going bad. Get off my base. All right, Smasher's down. So that should help. I don't know if I'm going to make it through this wave, but I hope I will. Go away. Leave it alone. Oh, not another one.
Protect the wall. Oh, I hate that guy.
Oh, this is not... No.
God, hate you.
Yeah, I do too. Oh, this is not good. Come on. Only got a few seconds left. 2, 1. Oh. Oh my gosh, that last wave almost killed me. Whew! I have to figure something else out before I do SSD 10. I can't have that again. I almost failed that. That was not good. So here we are with Storm Shield Defense number 10 in Stonewood. Let's see how this last one goes. This is the last one that you have. There are no more after this one. So let's see how things go this time. It's weird. So this is actually the third time that I've recorded this, right? I had some failures on a different amp. And the other times the walls didn't bust over here. Well, on the ground, the walls didn't bust down there, but apparently the spires busted them this time. They didn't break over here, so that's really interesting. I'm not sure what the difference is. Or I guess the spires can actually be in random places. Speaking of, I wonder if I got the random spire over here. No, I did not. Okay, good. Oh, I love this build. It's super sweaty, but I love it. It's effective, and that's what matters. All right. First wave is going pretty well, as I kind of expected. I haven't had a single problem, really, with this whole defense from the east here the entire time, like through all 10. Oh, the propane just went off underneath me. Okay. All right, so that wave is done. Going back to Amplifier B from the west. You know, it's interesting. Every time I've tried to record this so far, and I think in some of the others before 10, it seemed that the second wave was from the west for Amplifier B. Thought they were going to be random, but maybe they're actually not. I don't know. What I will say is I'm actually glad I built this. On attempt number 2, I actually decided to build this in the middle of the defense, and it wasted a lot of wood because it didn't get saved for one thing, but for another thing, they kept busting it down. Decided to go ahead and put it up for real this time because on attempt number 2, I had like 4 lobbers spawn at once, all in the same spot. And they just started unleashing their skulls, and there was literally nothing I could do. So that's what made me go ahead and build this. I never built lobber shields whenever I was going through this originally. I didn't even know what a lobber shield was back then. But they are incredibly effective in keeping the lobbers from doing anything to your amplifiers or bases. And you see, it just makes them go through the tunnels because they can't throw anything. They've got to have actual direct line of sight. And they're going to keep running around until they can actually get direct line of sight. Now, these little things obviously can get through walls. So I'm just going to take him down. Take down the taker. Oh, thank you, Jill. I appreciate that. Teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. You know, one quality of life thing that I think Epic could really do with Storm Shield defenses, at least in my opinion, all these materials on the ground, they need to just go into our inventories, you know? Because we can't go around and collect them. I mean, you can in Endurance because you're actually, you know, your thing is set up to where you can actually go around and collect the materials if you're setting it up effectively. But in normal Storm Shields, you really can't, especially if you're doing it solo. So I think that's something that they should actually add into the game, which would be really good for quality of life, at least in my opinion. I'm just going to try to help out because it's taking a little bit of time here. Oh, yeah. Thank you, base. You might say that taker felt the base. I don't know why y'all put up with my puns. I'm actually go in and get some of these materials here since the wave's almost over. Alright, so Amp A from the east, yet again. It seems like it's going in the same pattern, so I'm not really sure if it's going to be the same spawns every time, going against the same amplifiers, or if it's actually going to be different. I'm really not sure. Alright, so I've built up the defenses a little bit since the last attempt on number 10. Oh, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be doing that. Oh, I know what my problem was. There we go. That'll be better. Oh, you're not supposed to be doing that. There you go. Go off to the side. Perfect. Yeah, I forgot to put a wall down there. Oh, the Husky's gonna try and take it down. I'm not gonna let that happen. Go away. Yeah, I'm glad I actually leveled up another AR defender to help with this and put down another pad so I could have 2 down here. In case anything got through, I'd have 1 on each side to help while I made sure that things were okay over here. Oh, another husky is ignoring the path he's supposed to be going. I'm gonna have to come over here and take care of this. Nope. That's a bad husk. That's a bad husky husk. Get back over here, make sure everything's okay. Yeah, looks like everything's still okay at the amplifier, so we're good. The buffed up tunnels did help. Oh, goodness. Oh, they're... Okay, so they are still busting through that. Oh, and a smasher's even trying to come after it. Well, it's fine. I've only got like 15 seconds or so left. It kept him from getting down to the amplifier, so that's the main point. I was able to come and take care of it myself, so it did actually work out as I hoped it would. Oh, it looks like it is actually going to do something a little different this time. In all my other attempts, it did Amp C from the west. Now it's doing Amp C from the south. Okay, cool. I like that. It is going to actually do something different. Oh, no. The spires just... Aw, crap. Yeah, I didn't actually plan for that. That's not going to be good for Amp D if they spawn down here to go up to Amp D. A good bit of the defenses at the bottom there just got destroyed by spires, so that's not going to be great. The good thing is my 2 little timeout rooms here are holding up pretty well. Put down my sniper defender to get a little bit more help there because she's got distance, so hopefully she'll be able to help from there. I'm actually kind of wishing it had done the same as it had done the last several times and go from this direction, but it didn't, so it is what it is. Maybe I'll get lucky and the defense for Amp D will be a different direction. Maybe it'll actually go from the south. All right, just under 100 left. Oh, blaster got through. That's the first time anything has got through the tunnels. And of course it was going to be a high health target like a blaster. You kind of expect that, obviously. Okay, let's see how this goes. This could be bad because a significant amount of my defenses were taken down by the spires on the last one. But hopefully they're not going to actually cause any problems being gone. Oh, yeah. That's not what you want at all. Well, we'll see how this goes. I don't know which direction they're going to go. Yep, they're going over to the other tunnels. I'm going to move base over here since all the husks are coming into this tunnel. I mean, the good thing is I've redesigned this from all the failures, so they really shouldn't actually make it through here. So I might actually be okay, but I really liked my defense. Oh, goodness. I had a smasher coming up through here? Oh, yep, I do have a smasher. All right, smasher busted through the wall, and he got stuck. All right, this is actually going decent. This is not going bad at all. I like it. Even with my defenses over there not actually working like I wanted them to because of the spires, it's still actually kind of cooperating. Oh, smasher. This smasher might actually make it through. I'll have to come in here and take care of it myself. I mean, the traps are definitely doing some work. All right, under a minute left. I think we got this. Nothing's getting through the tunnels. So this change that I made with Death Grip's advice actually helped out. I figured it would. I'm just glad to see that it actually did what we hoped it would, even if the first part of it did get taken down. You are not supposed to be doing that, Smasher. You are not following the plan. And that's what you get for not following the plan. All right, 10 seconds left. I think we got this. There we go. All right, so that's Storm Shield 10 for Stonewood, done and dusted. So let's jump on back to home base and talk a little bit about how this all went. And there you have it. All my Storm Shield defenses for Stonewood are now complete. In my last video, I said that these builds were sweatier than they really needed to be, and I was right as far as getting you through Storm Shield Defense number 6 in Stonewood. But my plan all along was to build what I thought would be the most effective to get me all the way through Storm Shield Defense number 10. And for the most part, I was right. As you saw in the defenses setup and the actual gameplay, not too much changed, and most of the defenses were good all the way up to 10. I did have to beef up some of the timeout rooms in the later defenses around 9 and 10, but everything else was pretty solid all the way through Storm Shield Defense number 10. So if anyone watching these videos is still working on your Stonewood Storm Shield defenses, I hope you learned something from these that will help you be successful as you work through them all the way through Storm Shield Defense number 10. Going back to do all of these again truly was a great experience. It shows me just how much I've learned in the time I've been playing and just how far I've come. And I just want to pass that knowledge on to all of you in the hopes that it helps make your time in Stonewood easier and more enjoyable, and to help prepare you for the later parts of the game. And that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it and that it helped you with your Stonewood SSDs. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to hit that like button, as that really means so much to me. Also, if you're watching this video, you liked what you saw, and you're not already subscribed, then please make sure to hit that subscription button and the notification bell so you can see each new video as soon as it goes live, especially if you are an early game player, as I do have more guides coming up. Up next on the channel will be my Chapter 2 Season 1 wrap-up video that I'm aiming to release the day that Chapter 2 Season 2 starts. I really enjoyed making my last season wrap-up video, so I'm looking forward to making this a normal thing every single season. And then, of course, once we figure out what's going on with the Twine Peak Storm Shield defenses in the next season, I will be going back to my Twine Peak Storm Shield defense series and then working on 7 through 10 after that. That series is definitely going to get completed. We just need to figure out what's going to be going on with the spawns after they make some fixes and some potential changes, especially with the fact they're about to rework all the traps. Well, maybe not all the traps, but a good bit of the traps, because that could change everything for us. And then I also have several other series that I'm working through that I want to actually put on the channel. I know which series I'm going to go for first. I'm not going to say what it's going to be because I want it to be a surprise, but I'm really excited about where these other videos in the future are going to go. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. I think they're going to be helpful as well. Outside of all of that, if you have anything you'd like to see as a beginner's game guide, then please leave a comment down below. As I said in the last video, the whole point of this series is to teach new players how to play the game in the most effective, efficient, and and enjoyable way possible. So I'm very eager to see what others might need some help with, or what other players think that others need to know. As always, special shoutouts to my favorite Save the World content creators, both past and present: Latana, Demon Joe France, David Dean, Tori X, Aiden Harris, Rounded Tic Tac, Death Grip, Nihilek Dreams, X Samantha, and Enforcer. I've linked all of their channels down below. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and stay cool, geeks. Have a great day.